Welcome to the lecture series on the subject Basic Thermodynamics. This is module 2. In that part 2, first law of thermodynamics, lecture number 13. Myself Dr. N. Satish Kumar, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Canara Engineering College, Bantwal. So in this module, we continue with the numericals on the first law of thermodynamics as well as on the steady flow energy equation. Let us solve this problem first. A fluid system contained in a piston cylinder machine passes through a complete cycle of 4 processes. The sum of all heat transferred during a cycle is minus 340 kJ. The system completes 200 cycles per minute. Complete the following table showing the method for each item and compute the net rate of work output in kilowatt. Okay, once again it is the application of the use of the first law equation. Delta Q is equal to delta E plus delta W, or dQ is equal to dE plus dW. So here if you go through the table here, you are given Q. See, you are given Q in kilojoules per minute, W is given kilojoules per minute, and delta E. Now you can see for process 1 to 2, delta E is not given, 2 to 3 delta E is not given, 3 to 4 W is not given, but 4 to 1 nothing is given. So now here for the 4 to 1 process, you have to use the basics, and you have to find out any two parameters first, and then you can find out the third parameter using the first law. So that is what here the sum of all heat transferred, you can see here this sentence, heat transferred during a cycle. Cycle means what? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. So that completes one cycle. So in one cycle the net heat transfer or total heat transfer is minus 340 kilojoules. Now here if you look into this heat units or energy units here, so they are given in kilojoules per minute, but here it is kilojoules only per cycle, it's because it's per cycle. Now he also gives the total number of cycles per minute, that is 200 cycles per minute. So if you multiply these two, so you will get the cyclic integral of dq. So based on that, using that, so you have to find out this column first. Okay, the first column of the process 4 to 1. Now one more for the 4 to 1 is this, you have to find out, because for a cycle the cyclic interval of delta E is 0, because system is coming back to its initial state, so there is no change in temperature, so there is no change in internal energy. So cyclic interval of delta E is 0 for a cycle, so then you can find out this term also. So once you know this Q and delta E, so then easily you can find out this term. Okay, we'll solve that now. Okay, this is given data. Okay, now let us take the process 1 to 2. So for the process 1 to, Q1 to 2 is equal to delta E plus W1 to 2. Delta E is nothing but E2 minus E1. So it's direct substitution. So you'll get delta E is minus 43140 kilojoules per minute. So I'm not going to elaborate much on this because it's direct substitution of the in the basic first law equation. And process 2 to 3 also direct substitution, and in that also you can find out delta E as 42,000 kilojoules per minute. So I hope it is very clear for the first two process. Now coming to the process 3 to 4. So once again the basic equation. So you'll get W3 to 4 as 69,000 kilojoules per minute. Now the very important is process 4 to 1, where none of the parameters are given in that row if you check. But it is given that the Q for a cycle is minus 340 kilojoules. But as I told earlier, so here all the energy units are given per minute. So the Q also you have to calculate per minute. So system completes 200 cycles per minute. So the Q for the a minute or per minute or cyclic integral of dq per minute is minus 340 into 200 is minus 68,000 kilojoules per minute. But what is cyclic integral of dq in kilojoules per minute? It is nothing but q1 to 2 plus q2 to 3 plus q3 to 4 plus q4 to 1. So you can find out what is q4 to 1 from this, which you will get as minus 1,05,800 kilojoules per minute. So the method is proper. You may check, cross check, cross verify the answers. Okay. Now let us come to the one more parameter. As I told you earlier, the cyclic integral of dE for a cycle is 0. Okay. So that means delta E 1 to 2 plus delta E 2 to 3 plus delta E 3 to 4 plus delta E 4 to 1 is equal to 0, because for a cycle delta E is always 0 because there is no change in temperature, and delta E or dE is purely the function of temperature. So now only unknown is delta E 4 to 1, so that also you can find out. Once you find out two parameters of the fourth row, so then you can find out what is W 4 to 1, and you can fill the complete table, and you can that is completes the solution for this problem. Okay, now to find out the work, so the cyclic integral of dq is equal to cyclic integral of dw, so that is given as minus 68,000 kilojoules per minute. So rate of work output is nothing but it should be expressed in kilojoules per second. So you divide that by 60, so you will get minus 1133.33 kilowatt. So this is how you would find out the power. Power is nothing but the rate of work output. Okay, now we will move on to the next problem. 12 kg of a fluid per minute goes through a reversible steady flow process. The properties of fluid at the inlet are P1 is equal to 1.4 bar, rho 1 is equal to 25 kg per meter cube, V1 is equal to 120 meter per second, U1 is equal to 920 kilojoules per kg, and at the exit are P2 is equal to 5.6 bar, rho 2 is equal to 5 kg per meter cube, V2 is equal to 180 meter per second, U2 is equal to 720 kilojoules per kg. During the passage, the fluid rejects 60 kilojoules per second and raises through 60 meter. Determine the change in enthalpy and work done during the process. Okay, now we are coming into the first law. Steady flow energy equation. Okay, so here in steady flow energy equation, so mass flow rate may be sometimes given, or sometimes it may not be given also. So here it is given 12 kg of fluid per minute. So 12 kg per minute. Okay, the properties given both at the inlet as well as the outlet. So you are given P1, rho 1, velocity, internal energy, exit also pressure, density, velocity, internal energy, and also the fluid that the system controls volume rejects 60 kilojoules per second of heat through the control surface, and there is a difference in elevation between the inlet and the outlet. So rises through 60 meter means outlet is 60 meter above the inlet. You see, you have to very carefully you have to understand and analyze the problem. Now let us find out the change in enthalpy. So H is equal to U plus PV. So here delta H is nothing but U delta of U plus PV. That means delta H is nothing but H2 minus H1. So delta of U means U2 minus U1, and this is P2 V2 minus P1 V1. That all of you know. If you apply to the initial state and the final state, so I am directly substituting here. So this is U1, right? You can see here, U2 minus U1. So this is U2, okay, and this is U1 plus P2 V2. So V2 here it is not given directly. Okay, so that is what you have to find out by reciprocal of the density 1 by rho 2. Okay, then minus P1 into V1. So V1, once again you can see here in the given data or in the problem, you see rho 1 is given. So here P1 V1, so V1 is the volume. So volume per unit mass now. volume per unit mass, because here you see this quantity is given per kg. So this quantity also has to be per kg only. So that is what the V is nothing but the specific volume per kg. Okay. So then you will get the enthalpy as minus 93.6 kilojoules per kg. Okay, the kilojoules per kg. So that is the change in enthalpy. Now we'll move on to the next part. So let us find out the work done during the process using the steady flow energy equation. Okay, now steady flow energy equation can be used on unit time basis or per kg basis. Okay, that's very important here. So all of you have to understand this carefully. So what is when it is used on unit time basis, and what is it when it is used kilojoules per kg basis? Now here you see this is unit time basis. Now you know heat, this term is heat, this is work, this is change in enthalpy, this is change in kinetic energy, and this is change in potential energy between inlet and outlet. These three quantities are the change between inlet and the outlet. This is the net heat transfer during the process, this is net work transfer during the process. Okay. Now here Q, usually it is expressed in kilojoules. Now here when it is expressed unit time basis, so this should be kilojoules per second. That is what we have put dot here. Here also you have to put dot, W dot, that means kilojoules per second basis. Now all these terms inside the bracket here, so they always, okay, they will be in kilojoules per kg. Always they will be in kilojoules per kg. So to convert that into kilojoules per second, so kilojoules per kg, all the terms inside the bracket are kilojoules per kg, but you want it to kilojoules per second. Why? The left hand side Q and W are in the rate form, so they are also in kilojoules per second. So to convert this into kilojoules per second, you have to multiply it by a quantity which is nothing but kg per second. So what is kg per second? It is nothing but the mass flow rate of the fluid. You see this term. So that is what you have to multiply this by m dot. So this is very important here. So in per unit time basis means Q and W should be in kilojoules per second, and right hand side this the delta H, delta Ke, delta P, the sum of those two terms should be multiplied by mass flow rate. Suppose if your another form is kilojoules per kg basis. When you are using kilojoules per kg basis, take Q in kilojoules per kg, W is also in kilojoules per kg, then no need to multiply by m dot, because all other terms are already in kilojoules per kg. See, this is what the difference is. M dot will not be there, and in place of Q dot and W dot, it will be just Q and W, because the unit will be kilojoules per kg. So in an appropriate time, in later problems, we will use that formula also. Now here delta H you already found out. So let us find out delta Ke. So delta Ke is nothing but V2 square minus V1 square by 2, but you have to convert that into kilojoules, so you have to divide it by 1000. So divided by 2 divided by 1000, so divided by 2000. So that you get it as 9 kilojoules per kg. Similarly delta PE you have to find out. So G into Z2 minus Z1. So elevation, I told you the outlet is raised by 60 meters, right? So it is 9.81 into 60. So here Z1 is 0 actually, because that is taken as a reference. Z2 is 60 meters above the Z1. So that is why Z2 minus Z1 is 60. All of you have to understand that. And this also you will get it as 0.989 kilojoules per kg. Okay, again here you have to divide it by 1000 to get converted into kilojoules per kilojoules. Okay, you have to divide it by 1000. So that is very important. Okay, your formula itself you can write G into Z2 minus Z1 by 1000 also you can write. Okay, now substitute in equation 1. So heat is, you see now heat Q dot is taken as negative because it is given heat loss. Heat loss means heat is rejected from the system to the surroundings. So system gives out heat. So that should be taken as minus 60. And then substitute for m dot. So m dot is given kilojoules per minute. So you have to make it kilojoules per second. Okay, divided by 60. Substitute other parameters and you'll get W as minus 43.2 kilowatt. Because W dot it is rate. So its rate of work is nothing but the power. So this is the power output of the unit. Okay. So this is how you have to solve the problem. Okay. So negative sign indicates that work is done on the system during the reversible steady flow process. Okay. Let us move on to the next problem. In the turbine of a gas turbine unit, the gases flow through the turbine at 17 kg per second and the power developed by the turbine is 14,000 kilowatt. The enthalpies of the gases at inlet and outlet are 1200 kilojoules per kg and 360 kilojoules per kg respectively. The velocity of the gases at inlet and outlet are 60 meter per second and 150 meter per second respectively. Calculate the rate at which the heat is rejected from the turbine. Find also the area of the inlet pipe given that specific volume of the gases at inlet is 0.5 meter cube per kg. Okay, once again a very interesting numerical on steady flow energy equation. So here also the mass flow rate, here it is given directly per second. Previous problem it was given kg per minute, here it is per second. Now power developed, so this is nothing but W dot. So it is given in kilowatt. The enthalpy, previous problem we calculated enthalpy, but here directly H1 and H2 are given. Velocities are given V1 and V2, and there is no mention of the level or the position of inlet and the outlet. That means potential energy change, you can take it as 0 if nothing is mentioned about that. And calculate the rate which heat is rejected from the turbine. Previous problem we found out work. This problem you have to find out heat rejected. So heat rejected already is using the term rejected. So that means I am expecting a negative answer for Q dot here. Also find the area of the inlet pipe given that specific volume of the gases. Okay, that is using continuity equation that I will explain later when I come to that point. Okay, solution of this problem. So I will solve this problem using the two methods. In the sense, I'll show you how to use this or how to solve this problem using the steady flow energy equation on unit time basis as well as on kilojoules per kg basis. So first m dot is given, V1 is that is specific volume at inlet is given, P is nothing but W dot, so that is given. Now here you can convert this W in W dot, actually this is P is nothing but W dot, so that you can convert into W by dividing m dot. So W dot by m dot, this is kilojoules per second and this is kg per second. So second gets cancelled, you will get it kilojoules per kg. So I am solving first using kilojoules per kg basis. For that reason I converted W into kilojoules per kg first, even though it is given kilojoules per second. Next I will show you how to use the kilojoules per second equation also. Now if then H1, H2, V1, V2, all those things are given, and steady flow energy equation of all of you check. So what I given, Q minus W is equal to delta H plus delta KE plus delta PE. There is no dot for Q, there is no dot for W, and I did multiply the right hand side by m dot. See, that's the difference. Here all the terms should be in kilojoules per kg. So that is why W also I convert into kilojoules per kg first. Next delta H, delta KE, delta PE, let us calculate individually. So delta KE is equal to V2 square minus V1 square by 2000. So it is equal to 9.45 kilojoules per kg, and delta H is equal to H2 minus H1 minus 840 kilojoules per kg. There is no mention of datum for inlet and outlet, it should be taken as 0. Directly substitute in the steady flow energy equation, so you will get the Q as minus 7.02 kilojoules per kg. Okay, so that means already I told you while reading or analyzing the problem that he is asking for heat rejected. So answer we should get it as negative. So rightly we got the negative answer. Okay. Now this is in kilojoules per kg. Now once reverse step you have to do, because we have converted W from kilojoules per second to kilojoules per kg. Now Q from kilojoules per kg you have to convert into kilowatt. For that you have to multiply it by mass flow rate. Is there you divided, so here you have to multiply so that to get it in kilowatt. Okay. And also you have to find out the area at the inlet. So for that you have to use the continuity equation. M dot is equal to rho 1 A1 V1, or in place of rho 1 you can write 1 by specific volume 1 by V1 A1 V1. Even you can equate it to 1 by V2 into A2 V2 also. For the outlet also you can apply the same continuity equation. So substitute, because mass flow rate is given, okay, but here 17 should be in kg per second, so you will get the inlet area as 0.142 meter square. Similarly, if some data is given, you can find out the area at the outlet also. Okay, not only the area, sometimes if by finding the area you will be asked to find out the diameter also. So A is equal to pi d square by 4. Using that you can find out the outlet diameter also. Now let me go to the method 2, as I told you earlier. So here it is direct answer, because m dot is given in kilojoules per kg per second, and PS W dot is equal to 14,000 kilowatt. All these are the given data. Now steady flow energy equation, directly take it in rate form. Q dot minus W dot is equal to m dot into delta H plus delta KE plus delta PE. Substitute, directly you will get Q dot as 119.34 kilowatt. In fact negative. Okay, negative because it is heat is rejected. So minus 119.34 kilowatt. Okay, substitution and you can check. Okay, that just have shown. So I hope this is the better method, because here you will get directly the answer in kilowatt rate form rather than the method 1. You can go to the method 2 directly. Okay, so with this I'll conclude the lecture number 13 of this module 2, and I have one more lecture number 14, and I'll solve few more problems in that lecture. Thank you.